We are just 5 days away from the Iowa caucuses, but this seems to have taken a back seat to Donald Trump's escalating feud with the Fox News channel ahead of the GOP debate scheduled for tomorrow night.
The GOP frontrunner says he is boycotting the debate and will not participate. Trump unleashed a barrage of attacks against Fox News, its chairman and CEO Roger Ailes, as well as anchor Megyn Kelly, blaming them for his decision to skip the final debate ahead of Iowa. Let's take a listen to Donald Trump.
With me, they're dealing with somebody that's a little bit different. They can't toy with me like they toy with everybody else. So let them have their debate, and let's see how they do with the ratings. But when they sent out the wise guy press releases a little while ago, I was all set to do the debate. I came here to do the debate. When they sent out the wise guy press releases a little while ago, done by some PR person along with Roger Ailes, I said bye-bye.
So here is that wise guy press release from Fox News that prompted Donald Trump's remarks. It reads, "We learned from a secret back channel that the Ayatollah and Putin both intend to treat Donald Trump unfairly when they meet with him if he becomes president." The statement continues, "A nefarious source tells us that Trump has his own secret plan to replace the cabinet with his Twitter followers to see if he should even go to those meetings. Sooner or later, Donald Trump, even if he is president, is going to have to learn that he does not get to pick the journalists. We're very surprised he's willing to show that much fear about being questioned by Megyn Kelly."
In typical fashion, Trump has been tweeting up a storm, blasting Fox News and Megyn Kelly. He wrote, quote, "The statement put out yesterday by @Fox News was a disgrace to good broadcasting and journalism. Who would ever say something so nasty and dumb?" He also tweeted, "I refuse to call Megyn Kelly a bimbo because that would not be politically correct. Instead, I will only call her a lightweight reporter."
Meanwhile, Trump's main rival, Ted Cruz, is capitalizing on this situation, suggesting that Donald Trump is not living up to his responsibilities as the presidential frontrunner. Cruz says, quote, "I've extended that invitation to Donald, and to help him encourage him, we've launched a website today called duckingdonald.com. So anyone who wants to go to duckingdonald.com, you can sign up there and encourage Donald to show up for the job interview if you'd actually like the job. Well, Washington Examiner senior congressional correspondent David Drucker is in Des Moines, Iowa. He joins us now to talk about all this. So listen, is Trump making a mistake by skipping the last debate before the caucuses? I mean, we keep saying, is this something that is going to derail his campaign? And every time we say this, It doesn't.
So what I'll tell you is that if this were any other debate, I wouldn't think it was that big of a deal. And it's really a very Trumpian power move that only he could pull off. Basically saying, I'm bigger than everything, I don't play by the rules. And that's exactly what people like about him, at least for the people who like him, and his supporters are dedicated. But if we believe, and the polling leads us to believe, that he's in a close race for Iowa with Ted Cruz, and that this election, the caucuses are in doubt, meaning we don't really know who's going to win between the two of them, then I think this is a risky move because of the timing and because of the location. It's 3 days before the caucuses. It's in Des Moines, Iowa, and this is a state that takes its voting very seriously as an early primary state, and I think it could rub them the wrong way. So is Donald Trump going to lose any of his hardcore support? No. But if he's still battling for votes and there are voters that are still trying to make up their mind, I think this is something that could hurt, and I think it could really benefit Ted Cruz.
It's almost as if he's, waging a ratings war, conducting his own fundraiser for wounded warriors, and saying that Fox's ratings aren't going to do as well as they do. It's like a showdown.
Right, and this is what Donald Trump likes to create. He's done it with candidate after candidate, kind of created a showdown and then stomped all over them. Not every one of them, but more than one. And so it's a move that I'm not necessarily surprised by, especially because even though none of the debates have seemed to derail him, they're not necessarily his strong suit, and going toe-to-toe with Ted Cruz is a lot riskier for him than going toe-to-toe with Jeb Bush, who no matter how hard Jeb tries, Governor Bush tries, he just can't seem to get under Donald Trump's skin. Ted Cruz is a very able and aggressive debater, and he's had problems with Cruz. And so I think it's his way of trying to say, I'm the front runner, I don't need to do this anymore. Again, I just think it's the timing. It's not what he's doing, it's when he's doing it, and the fact that Iowa is competitive, and it's one of the reasons I think that we still might end up seeing him on the debate stage, no matter what he says, because he's been acting like he wants to win. And if he wants to win, the right move is to debate.
David, up until this point, Donald Trump has kept his feud with Fox to Megyn Kelly. I mean, he's appeared on that network several times since that first debate. But now he's going after Roger Ailes. And so I wonder, was Fox News out of line for that statement referencing Putin and the Ayatollah?
I don't think so. What I'm going to tell you is that as journalists, it's our job to mess with public officials, to ask them tough questions, to poke at them, to make their lives uncomfortable. I mean, that's our job. We're supposed to be fair, we're supposed to be accurate, we're supposed to provide context, but the idea that a frontrunner for leader of the free world can't handle a tongue-in-cheek statement by a major news network just doesn't pass the smell test. If you want to be president, then you blow this off and you say, hey, I can deal with this, not a big deal. I can deal with a lot of things, and this is the least of what I have to worry about. Now, I think if we were talking about Fox or anybody else coming out with a statement that was factually incorrect, Donald Trump said this or did that, and it was factually untrue, then Donald Trump would at least have a point in saying he was treated unfairly. But this is our job as journalists. It's not to make life comfortable. It's not to make things up, but it's not to just go along and give candidates a forum for whatever they want to say whenever they want to say it.
Donald Trump has been very adamant that he is not going to be at this debate. Do you think there's a chance he may cave by tomorrow and show up on that debate stage? And if he doesn't, what candidate stands to benefit the most?
Well, I still think there's a good chance he caves and shows up. Look, I mean, one of again, dial this back for a second. This is another, in a way, brilliant media move by Donald Trump, because once again, who are we talking about? Donald Trump. So no matter what he says, no matter how provocative, no matter how out of line we think it is, what are we always doing? Only talking about him and talking a lot less about his competitors. But I still think that because he has appeared to be playing to win in Iowa, I could see him saying something like, I think Fox is treating me unfairly. I wasn't going to do this debate. They don't deserve to have me here. But I love Iowa. I want the voters to know that there's nothing I wouldn't do for them, and so here I am. And I think that it's a possibility we'll see that tomorrow.
David, one more question on Donald Trump, and then we'll move on to the Democrats, because I'm curious what you think. This did seem to start with Megyn Kelly at that very first debate, and then today Trump tweeted out, he's not going to call her a bimbo because that would be politically incorrect. But by saying that, isn't he essentially calling her a bimbo? And that's what she was asking him in that very first debate, calling him out on that.
Right, and Donald Trump never apologizes. It's one of the things that has made him a strong candidate, given the political environment that we are in and how voters feel about Washington. But that's exactly what he's doing. And look, voters are going to have to decide if they want to elect a president or nominate somebody to represent the Republican Party that calls women bimbos. If that's what they want, then that's what they'll do.